All right, guys, welcome to today's MBA Masterclass. This is my keynote presentation that I did in person that I'll be going through here on a live stream, and also I'll be turning this into a webinar and an automated webinar. So welcome everyone to a happy Friday. It's SpaceX IPO day. Elon Musk becomes the first trillionaire on this IPO debut for SpaceX. So huge stuff happening in the business world right now. So hope you guys are doing well. So today's topic is One Ronin, No Funding, All AI, how I built a multi-revenue business with Claude, ClickUp, Lovable, and Discipline. And shout out to ClickUp. They've been one of my brand sponsors. And every single engagement that I've done with startups over the last few years and client engagements, I always bring in ClickUp to help manage our projects. And so shout out to ClickUp, huge proponent, small learning curve compared to all the other project management tools, integrate seamlessly with Claude. So definitely check them out. Okay, let's get going. So who is Justin R. for Results French, the Revenue Ronin? So the Revenue Ronin brand was born about two years ago. And I was doing some life coaching in Vegas with one of my clients. And she said, you know what, Justin, you're like the Ronin. And I was like, oh man, the light bulb went off, right? So a Ronin is a masterless warrior. The traditional samurai has a master in the Japanese culture. A Ronin samurai is masterless. So essentially, I believe that everyone has the entrepreneurial gene inside of them. It just takes certain environments and situations to express that gene of entrepreneurship, and by force or by necessity or by choice. And so, yeah, I believe everyone has that Ronin gene, that entrepreneurial gene inside of each and every one of us. And again, it's the right environment to emphasize that gene expression. So who is Justin Results French? Well, let's start off with some data, my favorite thing. So I've generated over $100 million in trackable revenue with my clients and former employers. Worked with over 200 plus businesses, actually probably about 1,000 businesses. If you combine my IT consulting company clients and my marketing agency clients and employers, it's about 1,000. I've been in business for over 25 years in the business trenches with tech, sales, marketing, operations, business. And we have a community of over 8,000 community members in the startup circle, and also the Revenue Ronin community right here on X, which is my preferred platform of building in public, sharing that journey. And so I'm a fractional chief revenue officer. I used to be a fractional CMO. I worked my way up in corporate all the way to CMO. And more recently, I've shifted and reframed into a fractional chief revenue officer. That's my thing. Revenue is my love language, right? I bring in revenue, and I develop the systems and the processes and people to support that for clients. So I've worked in SaaS, fintech, biotech, e-commerce, professional services, a lot of different industries, and really a bootstrap builder. I bootstrapped my way through business school running an IT consulting company. I made $1 million in the first 5 years, but I only netted 50 grand in that business. It taught me an important lesson called profit. So profit is definitely what it's about at the end of the day. So I'll be sharing the story about the Revenue Ronin brand, what I'm building, and I think you guys will appreciate the information that I share. So again, I'm a bootstrap builder who delivers value first. I believe in value upfront. And I built the Revenue Ronin from scratch, no funding, no co-founders, no team at the time, and just AI tools and 25 years of business strategy and execution intelligence. You really need that execution intelligence, all around sales and marketing mastery. And the mission is very clear. It's 1,000 Ronins, all focused on sales and marketing mastery, building their businesses and their legacy. So how it started, again, my IT consulting company was called Perfect Integration right here in Carlsbad, San Diego. And again, we did about $1 million in 5 years, only netted 50 grand, taught me an important lesson called profit. And no funding, no co-founders, no team, just AI tools and 25 years of business strategy and execution intelligence is what the Revenue Ronin brand is now today. And I have a small team, one VA who's with me part-time, and then I have a small tech team when I need them for some technical help. And that's it, very nimble, very small team. You don't need a huge team nowadays. All you need is acquire customers and retain customers. That's the name of the game. acquire customers, and retain customers. And you got to stand out these days. I don't know how many, fractional chief revenue officers can do handstand push-ups, but I can do them at 45. I'm pretty proud of that. Can't do them right now, getting over a heart procedure, but I'm doing the Ronin rebuild right now. I'm rebuilding myself back up. So, but yeah, I love doing, handstand push-ups. I'm all about fitness. I'm all about, working out. Health and wellness is top priority for me, always has been, and will continue to be. So it's all about progress over perfection, right? Progress over perfection. That's my daily mantra. And that's my motto, progress over perfection. And then you don't know it until you live it, right? You don't know it until you live it. So there's plenty of people out there talking, but are they actually living it, right? How many businesses have they started? Have they generated $1 million? Have they signed customers? Have they kept customers? Do they have that execution intelligence? What's their track record? These are things you want to make sure you consider before you work with any fractional chief revenue officers or agencies. Okay, so my two biggest mistakes I made in 15 years, which cost me about $1 million, was I stopped building my personal brand online and I stopped building my email list for 15 years. This is a huge problem, right? This is a huge problem. So I've learned from those mistakes, and the reason was I was going to school full time, or part time. I was running my company full time, and I was doing agency work as well, and so I just didn't have time to do my personal brand anymore, right? I couldn't create content. I stopped blogging. I stopped creating videos, and I was literally creating videos like every single day back in the day, but I just stopped because, again, corporate, agency, and I was working 50, 60 hours a week at least. And yeah, but for the last 2 years, I've made up for it. After my 5th layoff, I decided, I'm going all in on my personal brand again and building my email list. And so that's what I've been doing for the last 2 years, every day for the last 2 years. So yeah, after 2,000, job rejections, applications, 5+ layoffs over 15 years, I realized, breaking news, no one's coming to save you, right? No one's coming to save you. So this whole ethos of forced entrepreneurship became a reality. And it's something that I had to come to grips with. And I decided, you know what, I'm going to build in public. I'm going to bring people along the journey with me and help them as well. And it's all about we, it's not about me. It's about we. And so we're all building in public together right here on X and LinkedIn as founders, as entrepreneurs, by choice or by force. But everyone needs that side project. Everyone needs that side passion, that side hustle that they can build. And ideally that can become your full-time income. That's the intention. That's the play. So no one's coming to save you, and it all starts with who we're being, and we're gonna have to reinvent ourselves over the course of our journey, right? So you'll have to go through these reinventions to rediscover yourself, and I've had to do that multiple times. You you go through hard times, and you have to rebuild yourself, right? You have to hit the reset button and just clock out to clock back in, as my mentor Bill Walsh says. So and so I transformed and created the persona, the Revenue Ronin brand, which it's really a persona, right? Like there's this thing called the Batman effect, where it's like Bruce Wayne, right? Bruce Wayne, but then it's like he puts on the cape, he puts on the outfit, and he's Batman, right? And it's just like Michael Jordan, he was Air Jordan, or Kobe Bryant, he was the Black Mamba, right? So the greats have these personas that they tap into at times, which is critical. So develop that persona for yourself. Again, no VC pitch decks, no co-founders, no 10-person team, just AI tools, 25 years of business strategy, scrappy grit, and the discipline to build in public every single day. So stop asking for permission, right? Go all in on you. Go all in on yourself and become obsessed with your own success, because no one else is going to do it except you. So problem, you're probably guessing at marketing. Majority of companies that I consult, they're guessing at marketing, right? They maybe have a plan, they maybe have a strategy, but essentially they're guessing at marketing. And guessing is costing you a lot of money, right? It's costing you a lot of time, it's costing you a lot of money. And so it gets very expensive. So you're most likely spending on money on marketing with unclear return on investment and no plan, right? Like, what is your plan? What is your marketing plan? Let me see it. Let me see your 90-day plan. Let me see your 1-year plan. What are you doing this month? What's on the content calendar? Like, I ask questions right out the gate to see where they're at. And then I ask, can you tell me your cost per lead or customer acquisition cost? These are important metrics. And typically they have no system that makes revenue predictable. You want predictable revenue is what you want. Predictable revenue. And the fix isn't more tactics most of the time. It's architecture problems, right? It's a system and architecture problem from the ground up. And it's mostly broken architecture where they don't have attribution, they don't have proper reporting, they have siloed systems, nothing's communicating, sales isn't in alignment with marketing and vice versa. So we get, people, process, systems in that order, get them on the same sheet of music, and making sure that everyone's aligned and focused on revenue generation activities. And the analogy I like to use, or the metaphor, is most companies they invest in a Ferrari, they buy HubSpot or Salesforce or Go High Level or, ClickFunnels or fill in the blank, right? They buy these tools, these systems, and then they're only driving the Ferrari in first gear, or they lose a key team member, a subject matter expert. And now guess what? They're they don't have the resource anymore. They have to hire someone else and find someone else. And I've had the fortunate or unfortunate experience of having to be on both ends of this, where, we were migrating one startup from Zoho CRM to Salesforce. So I was the person that was deemed on the marketing team to lead that initiative. And, after working on that transition for, a year, I finally got to the point where I went and took the certification for Salesforce Pardot, because I'd been working in it in a full year. So it only makes sense, like, hey, I might as well go get the certification. And I did, and I passed it. So I'm also Salesforce certified, Cisco certified as well. I've invested in over $150,000 in training, education, certifications, personal development, conferences, you name it. I'm $150,000 in at least in getting to this point in my professional career. So again, it's an architecture problem. Don't buy and invest in a software and just drive it in first gear, right? Don't buy a Ferrari and only drive it in first gear. My whole mission is to help companies get full utilization out of their tech stack. They're not getting full utilization out of their tech stack. So we need to make sure we maximize the value that they're getting from their tech stack and their investment. And nine times out of 10, I'm saving companies money before I even launch any campaigns. Because why? Because I'm analyzing their MarTech stack, and I'm realizing that there's tools and software subscriptions that they don't need, or and so we're saving them money right off the bat. So it's all about saving money, becoming more efficient with the spend, and maximizing revenue and return on investment. So that's what it's all about. Oh, hey, good to see you, Riley. Good to see you. Yeah, I'm doing recording my keynote here so I can repurpose it. So great to have you here. So the AI first unfair advantage today. So the traditional model is absolutely gone. Okay, the traditional model for marketing is gone. You have your content writer for $4K a month. You had your marketing strategist for $6K a month. You have your developer for $8K a month, your data analyst for $5K a month, your graphic video editor, $4K a month. That's $27K a month in expenditure. And again, making sure that you're everything leads to acquiring customers and retaining customers. That's where everything leads to. And if you're not doing that, then you have a problem, right? You have a problem. You have a system problem. People, process, systems in that order. We fix it. We dial it in. We have the plan. We execute. We measure, and we enhance, and we drive costs down and drive results and revenue up, and make sure that you have the profit margins and have a sustainably growing business. That's what it's all about, and a profitable business. So the traditional model is gone. I used to need a team of 8 people in marketing as a CMO. Now I only need a team of 3. That's the reality. And what does the reality look like? It's an AI first business model. If you don't have an AI first business model, I'm sorry, like you're not going to really be in business in the near future, depending on what your business model is. But nowadays you basically have Claude as your AI strategist, your writer, your analyst. I personally use Claude. It's my favorite one. It's getting a bit expensive with token utilization, but we'll save that for another talk. Also, Lovable is great. So you can actually take the prompts from Claude, feed it to Lovable. And I've created one shot. I've done 2 months of work in 2 days for clients. Literally 2 months of work in 2 days. And then they're like, hey, can we get you another day? Yeah, no problem. That's going to be this amount is my new rate. Yeah, no problem, Justin. Because they're getting results, they're getting revenue. And it's speed to lead. Speed is everything, right? Timing, speed is everything. And so if you can get more done in less time, that's huge. And then, you're going to get to those results quicker. But again, just to emphasize, AI is not buying your stuff. Okay. People are buying your stuff, right? People are buying your offers. People are buying products and services. AI is not buying stuff. So make sure you're optimizing for people, right? Interest and behavior are the measurements of marketing. Interest and behavior, and then ultimately revenue, right? So those are the key metrics that you want to measure in marketing. Again, interest, behavior, and revenue. 14 platforms in 40 minutes. So I basically take my content, and I'll talk a little bit more about it later, but I take my content, I put it into Claude. I get 14 pieces of content now for my newsletter, for my HeyGen video, my blog, my Instagram, my TikTok, Pinterest, all my social channels. I have all the content now. As one operator, I have full control. And then ClickUp, which integrates with Claude. So there's an integration between Claude and ClickUp now, which you MCP server, you connect it up in the connector, and now you can actually get visualizations inside of Claude. It can update tasks for you. It can, add notes, whatever you need to do, very seamless. And Claude has become like my operating system, right? Think of it as it's your operating system now, just like Windows or Mac OS. It's your operating system, and you're operating your whole business in there, from dashboards to CRM to project management. Like, all the stuff happens inside of Claude now with all these connectors, and it's only getting more seamless. And I have one VA, and this is all for under $500 a month, right? So bootstrap builders with AI have an unfair advantage over funded teams. So here's the Revenue Ronin tech stack, the Revenue Ronin Operating System, as I call it. And I'm helping clients implement these operating systems in their business to be more efficient and drive results in revenue. So ClickUp and Claude AI is the brain. Lovable is the builder. Xscribe and Buffer is the engine, which literally now from Claude, I just shared a video on this yesterday. You can actually tell Claude in the chat, not even in Cowork or not even in Claude Code. You can just be in chat and say, hey, go ahead and schedule these social media posts in Buffer, and it does it. And then I just add the images and we're good to go. So it continues to get more seamless, more integrated, more frictionless, and just, it's all about driving results and revenue. And then the Beehive and X Spaces. So I host a space every day, Monday through Friday, 6:45 a.m. Pacific, called Sales and Marketing Mastery in the Revenue Ronin community and the Startup Circle community. And we've been doing that for a year and a half now, every day, Monday through Friday. And that creates the content for my revenue system, or for my content revenue system. And I'm getting that out on LinkedIn and Facebook and all the channels, and then that creates inbound interest and subscribers to my email list. And it's a system, right? It's a system. You need to be thinking in terms of systems, right? Systemizing your content, systemizing your revenue. That's what it's all about. So this is the whole thing. Total monthly cost less than one junior employee cost per day. Oh, and HeyGen is the bonus. So I've created an AI video avatar of myself. I feed it a script, and then I get video outputs that way. So these are the 5 revenue streams that I have as one operator. So my fractional CRO advisory, which again, Chief Revenue Officer advisory. So a client, a company needs help. Hey, we're at 10 million a year. We need to get to 20 million a year, Justin. We need your help as a fractional CRO advisor. Great. I go in between 5, 15, 20K a month. Those are my retainer rates for those engagements. I have the Revenue Ronin AI, which I'm working on developing that, where, let's say they don't have that budget, but they need access to my frameworks, my methodologies. The key about, and why we want the Revenue Ronin OS versus another OS, is because it's built on 15 years of framework that's generated $100 million, right? That's the intellectual property that my clients get access to and get access to me, right? They're paying for access to me and access to my Revenue Ronin operating system, which has generated over $100 million, right? So all those years I fed it all my information, and now the outputs and the strategies and the tactics are all in alignment with how to drive revenue, right? And find the leaks. We find the leaks, we fix them, and then we drive revenue. And so that's part of the Revenue Ronin AI that I developed. The Revenue Ronin community, it's a membership community. Prices start at $30 up to $197 a month. And we've had over 53 people sign up on this, which is great. I also have some digital products, the Revenue Ronin OS, where I basically build the entire strategy out for you. I scan your website, build the strategy. I hand you the 90-day plan. You go execute it. And then you get one strategy call with me, and that's only $997. And then the revenue content engine, that's the 14 platforms of the output that I've built. And yeah, this is all AI first. Again, all one person, no funding, just me and my VA and a couple tech guys as needed. So that's the 5 revenue streams. And here's the 3-pillar revenue engine in the ethos, right? The ethos is very simple here, okay? It's discipline, data, results. Okay, discipline, data, results. And all Ronins get a wristband, which we just had printed here. I'll show you guys. It says the Revenue Ronin right here. And it says discipline, data, results. That's the ethos. To remind you every single day, it's discipline, data, results. That's what it's all about. There's no emotion in there. There's no ego. It's only metrics. Discipline, data, results. That's the way of the Ronin. That's the Ronin way. So 90-day sprints. Okay, it's 90 days. It's not 30. It's not 45. It's 90-day sprints. I don't take on any clients for less than 90 days. Why? Because I'm not Jesus. I'm not a miracle worker. Okay, I can't stress this enough. I've tried to take on 30-day engagements. They don't work, especially with ads, right? You need about 90 days, just like SEO, you need about 90 days. Weekly execution milestones, daily systems, operational excellence. That's the Ronin way. So discipline, data. So cost per lead, we want that as low as possible, right? So if companies are already generating leads, one of the first things I'm looking at the data points is, okay, what's your cost per lead? Well, it's $500 the cost per lead. That's pretty high depending on which industry, right? So you get industry benchmarks, you measure that against industry benchmarks. Oh, that's actually good, right? So it's dependent on industry and a lot of factors, but ultimately we want to drive the cost per lead down as much as possible and get more efficient with the ad spend. Lead to close rate. So how many leads are you getting? And then what's your close rate on those leads? You can have 1,000 leads, but if you can't close a deal and if you don't know sales, then you have no business. Okay, you have zero business, you have zero revenue. So that's why we teach sales and marketing mastery together. You can't have one without the other. Marketing is getting the horse to water, and sales is getting the horse to drink water, right? There's a clear distinction here. And founders, I'm sorry to say this, that they're great at building, but they lack sales. They need sales training. And the most dangerous person in the room right now is someone who's mastered the tech side, sales, and marketing. Okay, we have community members like Timo. He's mastered all 3, and now he's really driving exceptional revenue now. So that's what it's all about. You need to master all 3 disciplines: tech, sales, and marketing, and you'll be unstoppable. Customer acquisition cost, you want to keep that low. Again, no ego, only metrics. And results, revenue attribution. Every single dollar is accounting for. Profit over vanity metrics. I don't care about 1 million followers, right? I don't care about 1 million followers. I care about revenue. I care about how many customers did we close? What was our revenue? What was our return on ad spend? What was our return on investment? Out of 1,000 leads, we closed 100. That's great. What was our revenue? And then can we increase the average order value for each client, right? So we scale that volume. We can do upsells, we can do downsells, we can do cross sells, right? There's a lot of ways to work that. And it's all about having this growth engine, not a cost center. Traditionally in companies, marketing is a cost center. It's not. If you do marketing right and you know what you're doing, it's a profit center. It's a growth engine as long as you're doing it right. And marketing's gotten a bad name over the years. A lot of companies, small, mid-size, big business, they pay millions of dollars to agencies. and they don't see, much return on investment. And so that's why I've made it my mission to really get over that stigma that's overshadowing the marketing world. And that's why I've been doing this for 15 years, and I love it. I'm good at it. I love it. And companies, and my track record speaks for itself. So again, it's a growth engine. It's not a cost center. So just to highlight the and expand a little bit on the 3-pillar revenue engine. So you have owned media, earned media, and paid media. Okay, so owned media, what does that look like? Well, that's your email list and your CRM database, customer relationship management database, your newsletter subscribers, your customer contact records, your owned content library. You got to build this first, right? You have to have your owned media channels first. Then you go into earned media, right? So you're posting on social media, you're generating organic content, you're participating in X Spaces, you're doing LinkedIn posts, you're engaging with the community, and they're doing some marketing for you. They're sharing their experiences. Wow, that was really a great space. We learned a lot, and I actually executed what Justin and the team taught me, and now I'm bringing in, $5,000 a month, right? Like those are the types of success stories that we're having. And that's earned media, right? Like I didn't pay for that person to say that. They're just sharing their experience. So word of mouth is still the most powerful form of marketing. Don't sleep on it. Word of mouth, right? So and then you have press releases, partnerships, and referrals, and you're earning trust daily. Again, you're earning trust. You're earning their business daily. And paid media. So after you have your owned media, your earned media, then you can start getting into paid media and experimenting with that. And Facebook, Meta ads, Google ads, search and display ads, LinkedIn ads for B2B, maybe retargeting. This is a big component that a lot of companies, they don't do right. They may say that they're running retargeting ads, but when you look under the hood, things are misconfigured. Their event tracking is off. They haven't set the pixel up right. Fill in the blank, right? I've seen it all. So what we do is we analyze and audit their existing paid ads infrastructure and identify and see what's broken, or if they don't even have it set up right, maybe they're not doing retargeting ads. That's money on the table. That's the biggest opportunity right now. I can tell you, if you take one thing away from this presentation, is retargeting ads is the lowest cost per acquisition, because these are people that already visited the website. They're already interested. So why aren't you reminding people? Very few people close at the first engagement, right? The first touch point. Very few. If anything, it's getting worse, right? Like in the past, you needed, depending on your business model, 5, 10, 20 touch points. Now you're needing like 50 to 100 before you convert somebody. Okay, so it's getting more challenging to navigate and harder to convert people. And now with AI, the trust factor with hey, is this a trustworthy video? Is this AI? Is this real? So being real is your competitive advantage now. Being human is your competitive advantage. So really lean into that and amplify what works. So the Ronin rule: no foundation, no business, just expensive lessons. So build the own media first, earn attention through earned, and then amplify with paid, right? Typically, I like to, get some organic videos posted, for example, to see which video gets some traction organically, and then you feed that with additional ad spend, and then you can amplify that. So that's how we do some of our paid engagements as well. All right, so the 97-3 rule. This is my favorite. My favorite F word is follow up. Okay, follow up and follow through, and speed to lead. You need to be getting to leads to 5 minutes or less. And now with, Go High Level and, whatever automation you want to build, you can make this happen for clients. This is a huge gap, especially for service-based businesses. Like if they don't respond to the right away, like they're going somewhere else, right? They're calling someone else. So you don't want to miss out on that opportunity to capitalize and really convert that lead. Speed to lead is a big deal. But only 3% of people are ready to buy right now, and 97% of the people, they're not going to be ready to buy right now, right? The keyword is right now. They will maybe a month from now, 3 months, 6 months now. I mean, I've had people, on the fence on the Ronin community, and then months later they sign up, right? Because they finally see the value and they're like, wow, I can get access to Justin. This is amazing, right? So it's on them. It's on them when they want to engage with you as a customer. And that's why I what I do every morning, 6:45 on Spaces. So 0% ads, $0 ad spend, 8,000 community members. The F word is follow up, follow through, and speed to lead. That's what it's all about. So your process is your marketing, right? Your process is the marketing. So you got to show up daily, every weekday for over a year and a half. That's what I've done. And yeah, it's been great. I'm really fueled by the community. I'm really fueled by people. Like, I'm a people person. I love people. So, majority of the time, like, people that love people, like, they do really well in sales and building businesses, because ultimately people are buying people are buying solutions and products and solving their pain points and problems, right? It's people, right? People. So I'm a big people person. I love people, and I love to see people win, right? That's what I want. I want people to win, right? I want people to build their own business, have a sustainable growing business, and create a lifestyle by design that they have initiated, and they put into practice themselves, and they own it. It's like their baby at the end of the day, right? Again, I've made a lot of people a lot of money, clients and employers, and finally it was like, you know what, it's my turn now. It's my turn to practice what I preach and really execute it and build out in public. So let's take a look at those numbers, right? So I've had over, now this is 1.1 million impressions on X. I'm trending for a year. This is a year snapshot. Plenty of engagement rate, 4%. That's pretty high. A lot of likes, replies. These are, a bit vanity, but there's revenue behind this, right? There's revenue behind this. My content performance on LinkedIn, I've had over almost 100,000 impressions in a year. So that continues to grow, up 37% from the prior year. This is my Beehive newsletter. So we have about 680 subscribers now, 22% average open rate, click-through rate, 2%. And I've earned about $700 in ad revenue, which I'm grateful for. And then Spaces numbers. So I participated in over 1,021 Spaces, 505 hosted Spaces. So, a year and some months every single day hosting Spaces. Weekdays, we take weekends off, but I may do a pop-up every now and then. We have our live average participants, 149. And yeah, these are the numbers, right? So again, discipline, data, results, 8,000 members, 0 ad spend, 100% organic, and building in public, right? People want to know, people want to see who they resonate with online, right? And really see themselves in your story, in your journey. And people want to connect with like-minded people on the journey to building. That's what it's all about. So show up daily, share the real numbers, your revenue, your experiments, your lessons learned, wins. Transparency converts better than polish. And another thing too, about people say, oh, I don't have content. I don't have enough content. I don't know what to say. Well, we all have life lessons. We all have key learnings that we've learned. And so these are, things that you want to share about, what you're building and lessons that you've had along the way. This is great content. People want to learn and grow. We learn, and then we drop the L and we earn, and let people watch build in public. Your journey is the content. You don't need a polished brand to start. Just get going, right? Just get going. All right. So these are the 10 C's to social business success. This is my $1 million playbook. I've literally made companies millions of dollars by following this exact playbook over the last 15 years. So let's go through them. So you got to care first, right? You have to care about your audience. You have to care about your clients. You have to care. You have to demonstrate that you care. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And then you have to commit. You got to show up daily for 90 days. Okay, 90-day sprints, right? This is 90-day sprints. So if you're just going to commit and then you're just showing up like 1 or 2 times a week, like you're not going to get the attention. You're not going to get the interest, and you're not going to get the revenue. It's just not going to happen. So care, commit, community. So whether you're building a community around your brand or your client's brand, right? So I build communities for, some of my clients, like, I've built fan pages, like 100,000 plus fans. This was before paid ads, right? I did it all organically on Facebook. So it's all about, you got to build community, right? For around either your brand, your own community, or around your your client's brand or community. You got to build that for your clients, because having a community is very powerful, and you want that around your brand, your products and services, however that looks. Context to that community, very important, right? Is the context to the community, women founders? Is it women founders? Is it professional tomato growers? Like what is the context to that community? Very important. And our community is, entrepreneurs, founders, business owners who are, building their legacy businesses. Then it's communication, right? And speaking to their pain, not just the problem, right? The average salespeople speak to their problems that they're solving, but I like to take it a step further and say, no, what is the real pain point that I'm solving, right? Like you're not able to get to these leads quick enough. That's a pain point. That's missed revenue. So let's fix that. Let's make sure we set up an auto text to the prospect, and then also an auto alert to the top sales team member, as long as it fits our criteria of this is a qualified prospect that we need to reach out to based on our criteria that we set. Plus, we have lead scoring and lead grading we incorporate so that we can elevate the higher interested and higher qualified prospects versus the looky-loos, right? There's browsers and there's buyers. I like buyers, right? I like to prioritize buyers because that's money in the bank. So that's communication, content creation, right? You got to create content, and not just content that you want, content that converts. You want content that makes people take action, that they feel something, right? They feel something with the content. So you're giving them that next best conversation, that next best action is what we call in marketing. What is the next best action we want this prospect to take on the user journey? Get very clear about that, map out the user journey, and have clarity around that. And yes, you have to educate, you have to entertain, and you have to convert. And then consistency, 90-day sprints, show up or shut up, basically. So look, if you're not going to do 90-day sprints, then you're probably not going to be or pay someone else to do it. If you can't commit to 90-day sprints with your content, then pay someone else to do it. Okay. But this is what it's requiring now. It's only going to get more challenging. Okay. It's only going to get more difficult. This isn't getting easier. Okay. So proven systems, consistency, and then that will lead us to conversion. And a conversion metric can be an email newsletter subscriber. It can be the purchase of your products and services. It can be a booked call, a booked appointment. They purchase something, whatever that looks like for you, but just be very clear on what are those conversion metrics for you and or your client, and get clarity on that. And then ultimately that will lead to cash. Revenue is the ultimate scorecard. Profit is the main outcome, but you got to get the revenue in first, and then you can make sure that you're getting the margins. And then clarity as a bonus, right? Everything comes down to clarity. Before you start a client engagement, and before I do, is I really want to get clear on where they're at now and where they want to go. And this is, some tough conversations at times, right? Because, they don't like to share, they don't like to be vulnerable about their blind spots. And I just, respectfully call them out as I see them. Like I don't hold things back. It's better to just be upfront and honest. And I tell it like it is, right? And sometimes I tell people, look, and even my community members in the Ronin community, I won't always tell you what you want to hear, but I will always tell you what you need to hear. Okay, this is a big difference. Okay, I'm not going to just tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you what you need to hear to make sure you get the revenue and the outcome that you're looking for. Okay. And that's how I work. That's how I roll. So, and I'm not changing. This is how I've always been. And it's worked so far. But, I'm not for everyone, right? And you're not for everyone. So just understand that, you got to vibe with your tribe. You got to vibe with your tribe. Here's a case study of 4X Off-Road. They're a local client here. Before they had great service, they were starting out their auto shop, specializing in off-road vehicles, and very competitive market. No revenue, no marketing system. And after we installed the 3-pillar revenue engine, strategic Google ads, social media, coached them on that, doing their marketing, their Google reviews, with their Google business profile, and 90-day sprints. And then by month 4, the engine was working, right? The revenue was, getting return on investment, return on ad spend. It was good. The numbers were good. And then here we are, I think like a year and a half later, and they're doing really well, and they're on track to 10x the business. So that's what it's all about. When you work with the Revenue Ronin agency, you're going to 10x your business, right? We're just dropping in a system, right? We have a proven system that works. We drop that in your company, whatever level you're at, small, mid, high level, enterprise, doesn't matter. I've worked in them all. We drop in the system and we execute. People, process, systems. We turn on the content faucet, and boom, the results start to happen. So, and to be clear, they wanted the phone to ring, right? Their main metric was, Justin, I need the phone to ring. I can close deals. Okay, great. So we prioritize that as a conversion metric, as the outcome in the Google Ads, phone calls. We prioritize that. We structure it accordingly. We optimize, and they're winning, and I'm super happy for them. And it's a great partnership, and we're a growth partnership, by the way. So we're not a marketing agency. The Revenue Ronin brand, we're a growth agency partner. We're a growth partner ultimately at the end of the day. So think of us as, really a business growth partner. That's what we are. And now a special invite for you guys. So thanks guys for sticking around for this webinar here, and we're recording it live, and then I'll turn this into an automated webinar. But now I have a special invite for you guys, introducing the Revenue Ronin Millionaire Mastermind. Okay, this is 1 day, 10 operators, and this is where everything changes. And we'll even go as low as 2 to 3. I just want people to come out to San Diego and take advantage of this, because this is a great offer. What we're presenting here, this opportunity, I'll tell you the price right now. It's, just under $5,000, right? It's $5,000, but what are you going to get for that? And this is for serious action takers only. Okay. This is for serious operators who are like, you know what, Justin, I'm tired of spinning my wheels. Like, I need the Revenue Ronin operating system in my business. I need to drive revenue. And this is for you. This is for you. And wherever you're at in your journey, like, we meet you where you're at, right? If you're already doing, 2 million, you want to get to 10 million, right? We can make that happen, right? We have the tools, we have the skills to make that happen. So, so this is what your day will look like during the Millionaire Mastermind with the Revenue Ronin. So basically an AI-First Business Masterclass. Okay, so it's a full day MBA level education, pain ladder hot seats, where we'll basically interview you. We'll do our content as well. We'll interview you for your content, so you'll get your content filmed right then and there. We'll do the MBA level mastermind, and it's in Escondido, California, a $300,000 studio, my buddy Shane's studio. And we'll work through live AI workflows. We'll build your 90-day plan, and we'll film your content, and we'll identify those gaps in your business model. We'll fix them right there. And then, you'll check in with me ongoing every month for 90 days to make sure that you're on the path to, bringing in more revenue. Like, if we can make, bring you, let's say you're at 10K a month, you want to get to 20K a month, this is a system that will help you do it. It's a proven system. So again, AI-First Business Masterclass with me live in person, dual studio content production, podcast interview with me, direct to camera authority clips. So we'll take all that content. You'll get 30 days or more worth of content, and delivered in 14 days. We'll edit it for you. You'll post it, you'll schedule it, but you'll get all the content for you in a Google Drive, right? And then you get the rooftop mastermind dinner. So after the full day, right, it's an immersion, but then at the end of the day, we'll go to a mastermind dinner with me and, my colleagues. And it's a private dinner in San Diego. Again, 10 operators. We'll take as low as 3, right? I'm looking for even 3 people right now. Only 3 people. This is a great offer. We're doing 6 months of work in 1 day. Okay, we're going to do 6 months of work plus all your content in 1 day. So it's a steal. So, and a lot of masterminding as well. This is where deals get done. This is where business gets done. This is where stuff gets done. No one cares about your PhD or MBA or bachelor's degree at the end of the day. Your clients only care about one thing. Can you get stuff done? I got that GSD degree, right? I get stuff done. That's what they care about, right? getting stuff done that will produce the outcomes that they're looking for. So 30 pieces of content, one session, Studio A, Studio B. This is like a $5,000 market value just right there for all the content sessions and the filming and all that stuff. B-roll package, authority segments. That's 5 to 7K right there, which is part of the mastermind itself. Plus you get dinner. And as a bonus, look, I'll even throw in a hotel stay. Okay, I'll even throw in a hotel stay. Okay, you stay overnight, right? We'll put you up in a nice hotel near the venue. All right, so you'll get all that. You'll get full day AI First Business Masterclass with me personally. That's Justin. That's $3,000 value. You'll get dual studio content production, 30 pieces of content. That's 5 to 7K. You'll get the rooftop mastermind dinner that's $500. The Revenue Ronin Operating System, complete digital system installed in your business, that's around $1,000. You get 1 year Warrior Community membership, right? So you get 1 year of the Warrior Community membership, okay, as part of the Revenue Ronin community. That's a $1,200 value. Plus you get the 90-day alumni accountability group. So you're going to be surrounded by other community members who have gone through the Millionaire Mastermind, and you'll get access to them as an accountability group. And this is total value between $11,000 to $13,000. Okay, that's the value. I charge $600 an hour. That's my rate for perspective. And yeah, you're getting all of this for just, again, $4,997. And plus, as a bonus, I'll put you up in a local hotel. Okay, so there you have it. That's the offer. That's the high ticket offer. And, it's very affordable, very reasonable. But if you're serious, if you're a serious entrepreneur, a founder, a builder, you fly out to San Diego, we put you up, you do the 1 day, okay, and you're set up for success for the next 6 months. And all you got to do is keep putting out content, producing content, and closing deals and fulfilling on those deals. Ideally, you want to have an offer. Ideally, you want to have a business model. But yeah, I mean, as long as you have a business model and an offer and you can sell and close deals and you can fulfill on what you're selling, this will make sense for you, right? We'll get that clarity for you. We'll put the system together, identify the gaps, execute the plan, and you'll be good to go. So very solid offer. Or you can do the Revenue Ronin OS by itself for $997. Just message me if you want a link to that. Or you can start off with the Revenue Ronin community, which, $30 a month or up to $197. But yeah, that's the offer here. These are 3 ways to go deeper today with me and the Revenue Ronin brand and agency and community. And again, we have over 50 something members who are learning and growing daily, getting massive results. Riley is one of our members. He's doing great. Ben is one of our members. Christelle is one of our members. John Carlos is one of our members. Timo is one of our members. Like they're all getting, more revenue. That's the outcome, right? That's the ultimate outcome. This is a systemized way to bring in more revenue, right? And we're going to do it in 1 day with you. So definitely let me know if you're interested in this offer. And in fact, why don't you go ahead and take out your phone right now if you're interested in the offer and scan the QR code. Let's see if it works. Let's see if my tech works, because tech breaks. I just want to make sure it works. So take out your phone, guys. Yeah, I see you watching, 30 people watching online. I see you guys. Take out your phone, scan, and secure your VIP mastermind experience now. What are you waiting for? Right? My question is, what are you waiting for? You're going to wait for something else? You're going to wait for it to be more expensive? Right? You're going to wait till it gets to 10,000? No, take action now. Right? Stop waiting. Come work with me in San Diego personally, and let's get this dialed in for you, right? Let's get your content. Let's get your system, Revenue Ronin Operating System. Let's get your plan. Let's execute it, put it in place, and start driving more revenue in a systemized way. And it does work right here. Millionaire Mastermind, $4,997, full day masterclass, 30 pieces of content, rooftop dinner, Revenue Ronin OS, 1 year membership, 1 seat, $4,997. So take advantage of this offer now, guys. I'm not sure how long I'll have it this low price based on supply and demand. If I sign a couple new proposal clients, like my time will be limited, but I want to do these every quarter ideally, right? So this is the first ever being offered at this low affordable rate. This is the first time ever we're seeing it at this low of a rate. And it's the first time we're introducing it. So we're giving you a deal, right? Because we want to create your success story And then we want to, share that success story and build on that momentum for other participants. So again, take out your phone, scan it, it's working, join the mastermind, paid in full, no payment plans, where it's, make the commitment now. If you don't have $5,000, we'll save up, get together $5,000, and then, reach out to me in the DMs or send me an email, and we can make it happen for you. So yeah, guys, at the end of our lives, we'll ask ourselves 4 simple questions. Did I live? Did I love? Did I matter? And did I make a difference? Until next time, keep making a difference. Build that mind, build that body, build that business, build that bank account, but most importantly, build that legacy. So stay healthy, stay hungry, and stay humble. We'll see you guys at the top. This is Justin R. for Results French, aka the Revenue Ronin, signing off. We'll see you on the next one. Much love.